do you find yourself a lot in places with people who are, because I feel like most of the spaces you find yourself in, it's faith-based spaces where you're preaching or telling jokes or whatever. But do you find yourself interacting with people fairly often who are afraid to go to church or haven't been to church for a while and who are wanting or considering, I would do this, but these are the reasons why I don't?
Yeah. So when I invite someone to our church, I can pretty much tell, their level of comfort with haven't been in church in a while.
Yeah.
And I'd never, I'm a big stickler on, I don't invite people from other churches. I know
Yeah.
some pastors have no problem with that, but I ask, so do you go to church anywhere? It's the simplest question you can ask. And they go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we go too. I go, great. Just want to encourage you, Easter's coming up. Make sure you're there because some people are 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
But if there's not a solid answer to that question and I invite them to our church, then I just start to share with them some of the hospitality that we offer, because the message is about probably 40 to 50 minutes after they arrive on campus.
Yeah.
So I try to paint a picture for like what they can expect on the way in the door. And at
Yeah.
our church, it's, you're going to be greeted by like 5, 6 people. Hopefully we've tried to train our people to, you can tell the person who wants a hug and you can tell the person who doesn't.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you're a real touchy person, we
Yeah.
don't need to be hugging everybody walking in.
Yeah.
And then, there's coffee, there's mints.
I was just gonna say.
I just want them to know you're gonna fit in here. That's what I love about our church is we have some people that dress up more, but you're not gonna see really suits at our church. You have people that are dressed down. I try to help them understand that it's gonna be a comfortable environment for you, and I love saying that because you may hear some uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
You may have to come to grips with something, and that's the number one thing they're concerned about.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
my life is going to have to change?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we believe hospitality tells people you matter to God and you matter to us.
Yeah.
So whatever we're preaching or teaching on, whatever the message is, whatever the Holy Spirit is going to call them by name in during that gathering, they know no matter what's said, we love you, we care for you, we thought about you, we prepared for you.
Yeah.
We're putting time and energy into this. And that's why I think churches need to spend. You and I visit a lot of churches.
Yeah.
And we see some churches that put time and energy into preparing and others that, well, we didn't give this a lot of thought. Well,
Yeah.
that communicates something from the moment
Yeah, it's true.
that you walk in. And so I try to share that before they even show up.
Yeah.
Here's kind of what you can expect.
Yeah.
Because that's how we started this time,
Yeah.
right? Is
Yeah.
healthy expectations.
No, it's great. And I think that, like, I love that you're putting thought into this because I guess there's like a line, and this is why earlier I kind of made it a little bit in a joking way, but the people who are showing up for the first time, they've never been to church, they're kind of leery. And then you have the people who've been going to church forever and they're picking apart all of the things, right?
Yeah.
Some people who would come into some churches might feel like, man, they care about this stuff. And then I feel like there's churches where it feels like maybe there could be a line where they care too much about that stuff and not about actually creating something life-changing, right?
Yeah.
And I think this speaks a lot to just your communication style because, again, like I remember that event that we did where you were talking about marriage stuff. I remember I was like just listening and just laughing the whole time, like, this is so good. And afterwards, in a good way, I'm like, I'm like a bad husband. I need to just be better. And not like you're trying to make people feel like bad husbands, but I'm saying like I walked away with this like, that was a nice way to receive the fact that there's some things I'm doing wrong, right? To deliver something so challenging while still making it fun, I think it really is an art. And I don't know, maybe you don't even do it on purpose. Like maybe you don't realize.
No, I mean, it's in the notes because, Dave Ramsey taught it's supposed to be every 5 to 7 minutes that you're supposed to offer some sort of relief in the tension. And, people can debate that, but I probably go more than 5 to 7 times. Amy corrects me on this a lot, though. My wife, she'll say, there are times we need to sit in something for a little bit,
Wow.
and your personality wants to bail us out, and
Yeah.
that's the pastor's heart in you. You don't want them to feel this for too long, so then I'll just come in with that. And I've had several people, I've had elders tell me this, like, hey, think through your message where there's going to be a moment where conviction is going to be setting pretty heavy on the heart.
Yeah.
Don't bail us out.
Yeah.
Because that's my temptation.
Yeah.
And it comes from the heart of a pastor. It comes from mercy,
Wow.
wanting to relieve you of something. And And so I try to write that out. I'm different than you hear a lot of, homiletics classes or, preaching classes will
Yeah, I
tell
hear
you.
about homiletics all the time. You guys?
Homiletics is a
Homiletics
preaching
don't
seminary.
Yeah.
don't spend your
Okay.
weekends.
Yeah.
I know if it was like a course on speaking in tongues, like that's the first phase is saying that word.
What?
Homiletics. I've never heard that word in my life.
So homiletics, the study of the Bible is hermeneutics, and the study of preaching is homiletics. So,
Gotcha.
but we're told you have to establish your point in the first 3 minutes. Like people have to know, why am I here? What's the purpose of this? And where are we going with this message? I kind of do just the opposite. I view that first 3 minutes as an opportunity to connect with the congregation. And so I go more fellowship. I'll call people out by name,
Yeah,
in
cool.
a story or an illustration. You do the same thing. You're connecting with people, and I kind of go, you'll figure out where we're going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
As
yeah,
this
yeah.
goes on.
If you're listening,
you'll know where it's going, but I want you to know we care about you. I care about you. I want to get to know you. It's that old John Maxwell. He would, and he still does it. Hey, I'm John Maxwell, and I want to be friends. Like he has
Yeah.
this real enduring way of doing that. And
Yeah.
so that's my approach more with that. But I write it out, and there are times at 8:15 I'm like, that didn't land.
yeah.
Like I'm writing a message today about, out of the lament Psalms, and how we got to keep asking God questions when we're hurting. Like, don't stop asking questions.
Yeah.
That's all the lament Psalms are. Why? How long do I have to deal with this? This pain won't go. Why are the enemies who are against you, God, why are they succeeding and prospering? And why am I the one that's going?
Yeah.
Keep asking questions.
Yeah.
And so I put in there, I started with how many questions, our kids ask us 300 questions a day, right? When your kids are small, 300 questions a day. Before
You're saying
bed.
like as a
That's a
statistic, like
lot.
average.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So I wrote, I'm going to see how this flies on in a couple weeks, but I wrote, so there are mornings I get up and I want my wife to walk out like my press secretary and go, your dad's going to make a brief statement, but he won't be taking any questions this morning. So it worked. It was light, but I think about, so I test that. There are times I have tested jokes with Amy. Hey, I'm thinking about saying this Sunday, and I'll give her a line just like
Yeah.
that, and she'll go, I'll let you know tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, yeah, if you got to let me know if it's
To
funny
think about if it's funny.
24 hours later, it's probably one I need to rework
Let me
or
think if
drop it
that's
all
funny.
together. And so I encourage people I encourage pastors to write it out, share it with a few people, get a response like we just did, and you'll know if it's flat.
Yeah.
You'll know if it's got potential and you need to work on timing.
Yeah.
This is what comedians do when they go do club work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
They go do 7-9 minutes here and there before they go do their 1 hour
Yeah.
special.
Well, and it's cool because you're applying these same concepts to the things that also create impact, right? So you're like, man, is this going to be something that lands with people that connects? And what I love that you said earlier, I think, is the humility of people being able to say, Ted, like, stop bailing us out. Like, you have
Yeah.
people in your life who are like, dude, you're a great pastor, but like, there's times to let us feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? And I totally get that thing of, you say a thing and you kind of feel bad because you don't ever want to be the person to tell people that they're doing stuff wrong, but at the same time, you know that the result of that is
Yeah.
going to be good stuff.
yeah.
So it's like, it's that thing that I think a lot of people feel is like, most people just avoid the confrontation. I'm not good at
Yeah.
confrontation.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my wife also is always
And I'm
going,
always like, confrontation brings transformation.